Mourners gather at a hospital morgue in southern Gaza. Inside lie the bodies of 3 boys killed the night before in an Israeli airstrike. The Israeli military said it had targeted a cell that was laying explosives along the border fence. The father of one of the boys denied they were doing any such thing.
These were young boys. You think they were planting explosives? I wish they had been.
Abu Daher's son, Abdul Hamid, in the middle, was 13, as was Mohammed Al-Satari here on the right. On the left, Khalid Abu Said was 14. Their bodies were brought briefly to the family homes in the village of Wadi al-Salka. Locals here have suggested they might have been trying to set nets for birds in the nearby fields when they were targeted. As the convoy carried on to the mosque, it passed the village school, where classmates looked on.
Abdul Hamid was in my class. Even now that he is dead, he will always be my friend. He was a good student, and I will keep him in my heart.
Attending the funeral, Hamas's most senior leader, Ismail Haniyeh. The faction which controls the Gaza Strip is now facing calls for retaliation. It follows Friday's exchange of rockets launched by the Palestinian group Islamic Jihad and Israeli airstrikes. The Israeli government itself, under domestic political pressure, has promised toughened military responses to rocket fire, incendiary balloons and breaches of the border fence. Such measures, though, heighten the chances of airstrikes like this one.
It's instructive to get a sense of the geography here. This is the cemetery where the boys are now being buried. Just a little distance down this road are the homes in which they lived. And if we cross the road and have a look over here, we can see just how close all of this is to the Israeli border. These boys lived and died within a few hundred meters of where they're now being buried.
Later on came the weekly protests at Sikkim, where the Israeli border extends into the Mediterranean Sea. The Hamas leadership has signaled it doesn't want an escalation towards war, a view said to be shared by the Israeli government, despite the bellicose language of its defense minister. But every few days, it seems, dangerous forces are being let slip, only to be reined in again. No one can say how long that can last. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, Gaza.